Everywhere here, there's a nod to what some say is a golden age. The Wellington Pit Chimney, one of 70 mines dug over a 300-year period. This railway, which brought coal to the harbour to be ferried away for steel making. Memorials and plaques to those who lost their lives underground. The work was dirty and sometimes dangerous, but thousands of people had jobs. It gave them purpose, supporting communities and families.
It's nice to receive a wage of your own and know that you're earning it.
Glad to be back again at work after 18 months, and it'll be a great job to the district when everyone's back to work again.
But cheaper foreign coal and a shift to cleaner, renewable energy meant that by 1986, the last mine in Whitehaven shut. And this is it, the Hague Colliery.
Yeah, that's called the head gear, where the wheels are.
Former miner Neil Messenger remembers it well.
Best job you could ever have. I got a visit down when I was 14 and I never wanted to work anywhere else. It was hard manual labour. There was a lot of machinery at that time, you know, it wasn't just picks and shovels anymore.
It wasn't just a job, right? You made friends there, colleagues, there was a whole community built around it.
It was fantastic, it was just like family.
Do you fancy a job in the new mine if it is opened?
I've had my name down on the list since it was first mentioned, yeah. Mine was probably the first name on the list.
Briefly a museum, it's now the office of the West Cumbria Mining Company, the people that want to build the new mine. A 4-minute drive away from the old Hague Colliery is the site of the new proposed mine called the Woodhouse Colliery. Now it sits on the site of an old abandoned chemical works, the Marching Chemical Works that were knocked down in 2012. Now the site needs to be cleaned up, but West Cumbria Mining Company say that once up and running it would create up to 500 jobs directly and many more indirectly. It would use old tunnels that run underneath that were used to mine anhydrite to fetch the coal from up to 4 miles out of sea, and that would be ferried away by rail to wherever it needs to go. And this is what it will look like. Costing £160 million, its owners call their mine modern, safe, efficient and green, designed to blend into the landscape.
Diversifying our energy supplies by investing in renewables is precisely the way to ensure ourselves against the risks of energy dependency. It is also a fantastic source of new jobs and growth.
That was in November 2022, and it's why Lord Deben, the chair of the UK's Climate Change Committee, which advises the government, says opening the mine is indefensible and would create another example of Britain saying one thing and doing another. Opponents like local resident Gail Stevens say there's no economic arguments for the mine, let alone the obvious environmental opposition.
I think that we need to see Whitehaven's long-term future going into green industries and into sustainable jobs, because the whole area deserves better. We're only at the start of the green revolution.
This is going to produce such a tiny fraction of the carbon emissions that contribute to global warming that it's not going to make a difference either way.
I just think it's a totally spurious argument. I think it's the argument of, a desperate position. It's 2022 and we're standing here having this conversation about reopening a coal mine.
Supporters of the mine disagree. They argue the coking coal could end up at one of the UK's steel production plants like this one in Wales, meaning no need for less green, more expensive foreign imports from places like the USA, Australia and Poland. But the steel industry is making no comment about this new mine. Instead, it's focusing on efforts to decarbonise by switching to furnaces that rely on electricity instead of coal. Say yes to the mine and the Conservative Party can stay sticking to the 2019 manifesto commitment to level up. Say no and the promise to lead the global fight against climate change in the same manifesto becomes harder to argue. Difficult choices for a new government. Paul Hawkins, GB News.